Hi, and welcome to the last beautiful podcast that we are going to do from this amazing setting in Asheville, North Carolina. Wow, what a spectacular morning it is. Whenever you're catching this, good morning, good day, good evening. Thomas Miller here, and I wanted to say a special thanks and shout out to the family who made this possible. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful. And as you can see, what a beautiful spot this is. All right, it is Taurus season, and here we are right here, the exact point where the sun moves into Taurus. Now, this is 10:25 p.m., but I've got this set to Atlanta. The reason I do is that I just because I'm traveling around in the southeast right now, I've picked a place that was kind of like, where should I set the chart? My Honeycomb Collective Almanac, I keep set to New York time. And the reason I do is that then when I look at the days, these have aspects that might affect trading. So I keep an eye on that through the day. So this just sits open. So this is set to New York for the trading. My chart is set to Atlanta because, why not, right? And there is a time difference between latitudes, and obviously east and west. So here in Atlanta, 10:25, this happened in New York at 10:18. So basically, we are now full on in Taurus season. And as the sun moves into Taurus, one of the first things it's going to do is hit that Uranus in about 10 days. So Uranus in Taurus, this financial representation of Taurus and obviously Uranus, as we trace this back, we've seen this in every major recession that the United States has seen for like the last 100 years. And it looks like here we are again, right? And remember, even though it's not in the square right now, it still is in this square alignment with Saturn, which it will hit another couple of times this year. So one more time this year. We're dancing with this alignment all the way through this year. So it really is some valuable, delicate real estate that we're on here as the sun enters into Taurus. And I think this is something that we really need to keep an eye on, because this hit 6 months after the big 1929 crash, the Great Depression, and out of all of that came the 1930s version of what we've been hearing, the Great Reset, which now is a term that we've become familiar with and several politicians and people around the world are using. So are we going to need a Great Reset? Well, if it happens, and if this is in the cards, it is going to happen in this sign of Taurus. Now, as far as Taurus goes itself, we did quite a setup with my buddy Hemant Singh DeVault on the audio version of the podcast. So I would point you over to the audio version for that, and we'll not go into those Taurian characteristics because it was so fun and so well described there that we'll just let that stand as is. But I think the thing that we really would focus on today here, as far as looking at the chart, is basically what is ahead. And that's what we've got. So put your financial antenna on. And this is, I think, one of the other things as the sun moves through, especially as it crosses Uranus here in a couple of weeks, that we basically use this month to think about shoring up our financial positions in any way that we can, whether that means getting a second kind of job, or like they talk about these side hustles. Well, you might look into getting a side hustle. You might look at reducing debt. Where's a way that you could snip here and snip there? And we're all having to do that. We're all having to tighten up right now. Well, where could you apply that to some debt reduction and thinking about being financially clear going into the future months and years ahead? Be a good position to be in. What about investments? Do you need to look at your investment portfolio? Do you need to make some changes? Are there some defensive positions? What about income? All of these things I think are things that we should spend collectively, like just kind of block out over the next 30 days, following the energy of the chart. This is a really big aspect. So let's jump in line with it and use it to our advantage to just do a review of our own personal financial situation. Hope that helps. Welcome to Taurus season. I'll see you on the audio podcast for more. And back, I don't know when we're going to be back. Actually, you know what? Because the rest of the week is really light, I am changing from here over to an Airbnb. So let's just see what we do for the rest of the week. We might do the YouTube shorts because there's really not that much to talk about as far as showing you anything else because we're pretty much set up right here. This is kind of it. All right, we'll see, and I'll be back or I'll see you back next week. But I'll do some shorts for sure in between. All right, and I'll see you on the audio podcasts too. Bye-bye.